Hello, Amazon rock and rollers. How are you doing? Joe here. And what you're looking at in front of you is a calculator, a profit and loss calculator. Now, I have decided to create this based on a lot of the questions in the group, and I know that there's a couple of other spreadsheets, but I was trying to think of a way of doing this as easy as possible. So these are very estimated, you have to understand, but at least they give you a rough idea. So for instance, just ignore these two at the minute, just start with this one here on the left hand side. Let's say that your potential retail price is $24.95, that you're going to be ordering 500 units, that each unit weighs 0.5 kilos, okay, and you've been quoted $2.50 per unit, all right? So we're putting all these numbers in here, so we're going to be able to, that's our retail price, that's our number of units, that's our kilos, that's how much it's going to cost us per item. And then I've put these numbers in here. You can change these, okay? So over here I've put in $100 roughly for somebody to design your brand. Now, of course, if you do this yourself, you can turn that to zero, okay, and you're going to have nothing in there. And then what this column does is it takes your total and it divides it by the number of units you're ordering, and it gives you a per unit cost, okay? So let's say it's going to cost you $50 to get it designed, so it's going to cost you 10 cents per unit. And then I've put a cost of $200 in there from the supplier's point of view. When you go to the supplier and say, I've got a design, I now want you to print this on my product or on the packaging for my product, they may charge you $200. So that's going to be 40 cents per product, okay? Now, they may charge you, $230. Either way, it's going to work out your per unit cost here, okay? Now, all these greyed out boxes mean boxes with calculations in them, okay? So the greyed out boxes are boxes that have formulas in them to calculate what you're putting in the rest of the calculator, all right? So you can see here the shipping cost per unit, that 1,500, that's a greyed out box, which means that has a formula in it. So that amount has been put in there, and it's basically worked out your weight per kilo times the number of units times $6, roughly. Okay, so if you're shipping from China, we're looking for a shipping cost of around $6, okay, per kilo. So it's 500 times 0.5 times 6 equals $1,500. So to ship this particular product is going to cost. But once you actually go and you get a quote from your supplier, let's say your supplier can do it for you for $1,200, then you can just take that out of there, take that calculation, that formula out of there, and put in your own number, and what it's going to do is it's going to calculate how much that is per unit there, okay? And then down here we've got our FBA inspection fees, and again I've just put in what FBA say their fees are. So 45 cents for inspection, 20 cents for labelling, if you have any other costs you might want to put in there, and then that's carried over to here, okay? So again, you can change all these numbers. This is just all in here to help you make your calculations, all right? And then your shipping to Amazon, again, this is going from FBA to Amazon, and this is only relevant if you're actually using FBA. So this is going from FBA to Amazon. It's the same calculation as this one, except this time it's timesing it by 40 cents, which is about the average shipping rate in America per kilo. Okay, so it's taking the number of units times the kilos times 40 cents to give you your shipping to Amazon. Again, you can completely change that. And if you want to put the formulas back after you've taken them out, then just go and copy it, okay, from the cell over here, and you can put it back in there, okay? So you can just paste that, and that will put the formula back in. And then you want to put your Amazon fees in. The way to do that is to go and use the Amazon calculator, and I'm going to do all this with a real life example in a second. So you'd put your Amazon fees in there. We've put potential marketing costs. Now this does not include the promotional expenses that come from the sale of the item, okay? So when you actually sell an item and you decide to give one away, then Amazon charges you promotional expenses. And that's going to come down to whether this is your first order and therefore your promotional expenses are going to be higher. This might be later on orders, so your promotional expenses will be slightly lower. So I've left that out. So you just need to account for that as you move forward. But this at least gives you a rough idea. This is like Amazon ads, reviews, that kind of stuff. Any Facebook ads we do, things like that. So we've allowed about 5%. And then that gives us our total cost per unit, our potential profit, and our margin. Okay, so you can kind of see at a glance whether a product's going to work or not. And the reason that there are 3 is because you might be getting quotes from 3 suppliers. So let's say we've got Vera there, and we've got, say, Joan there, and we've got Wu Mong there. Just coming up with any kind of Chinese type names. And basically, we've got 3 different quotes, and they're all quoting us different things. So we can see at a glance which one is coming out as the most profitable. Yeah? So let's do this with a real life example. So let's say that we were going to do silicone gloves, and don't do silicone gloves because it's way too competitive and it's been done, 100 times over. So don't do this. I'm just using it as an example. So the first thing I want to do with silicone gloves is come and have a look and see what rough price can I sell them for. And looking down this page, I can probably sell them for about $20. Okay, so we're looking at maybe $19.99. So I would come here and I'd put in $19.99 there. I'm going to get a quote for 500 units for my first one, but we do need to know the weight per kilogram. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to click on one of the products, and I'm going to go and have a look and see what the shipping weight is. This is not going to be exact from the manufacturer, but it gives me a rough idea. So it's 10.4 ounces. Okay, so how do we turn that into kilograms? Quite easy. Go to Google and type in ounces to grams converter. Okay, and it pops this up, and you just put in 10.4 ounces, go and find kilograms here, and it's going to tell you it's 0.29 kilograms. So we can go back here to Excel, and we can put in here 0.3, okay, 0.29, 0.3. Now we want to find out how much per unit it's going to cost us, so I can come here and go to Alibaba and type in silicone gloves, and here it's $3.45 a pair. Now remember, this is all going to be negotiated down, but you're just looking for a rough idea at the moment of what it's going to cost you. These are $2 to $3, so we're looking at somewhere around $2 or $3, aren't we? $1.45 to $3. Well, these are cheap ones, 0.6 to 1.9. So, or $1.40 there, or 1.2 to 1.7. So I'm going to put in $2, right? For now, I'm just going to throw in $2 there. Okay, so $2. All right, so I'm going to design the brand myself, so I don't need anything in there. I'm going to do that. But they may charge me to print on the packaging to show it's my brand. Okay, so let's say they're going to charge me $200. I'm going to leave the shipping cost because it's that times 6 kilos, so it's going to cost me about $900 probably to get them shipped. And then we're going to leave the FBA fees because I'm going to send them to FBA first, okay? And then the Amazon fees. We need to go to the Amazon calculator, and I've given you the URL there for the calculator. But if we go back here, first of all, let me just go and grab an ASIN number. So for these gloves here, so that's the B00 number, all right? So I'm going to copy that ASIN number, and then I'm going to go over to the Amazon calculator, and I'm going to put that ASIN number in there and click search. What that's going to do is Amazon are going to go and find a product similar to the one I want to sell, okay? And they are going to put it in here, so I can now put in here my potential sale price. So let's say it's going to be $19.99, and then click calculate, and that is going to give me my Amazon fees. So it's going to cost me $5.72 for Amazon to basically do everything that they're going to do for this product. Yeah, it's going to cost $3 for their referral fee, and then the order handling and storage and all the rest of it. We're looking at $5.72 in total. So we come back here, we put in $5.72 in there. Okay, we leave our 5% in roughly for marketing costs. So that tells us that the total cost per unit is going to be $11.69. The potential profit per unit, this is excluding promotional fees, is $8.30, and then the margin is going to be 42%. So basically, that to me, that's not a viable option for me. 42% at this early stage is too low. I want at least 50%, bearing in mind that I've got to account for my promotional expenses, i.e. giving things away for reviewers and spiking sales and all that kind of stuff. All right, now there are obviously things that you can do to, turn that into 50%. It's about negotiating your printing costs down and getting those as low as possible. It's negotiating your shipping costs down and getting that as low as possible. It's perhaps leaving out FBA inspection and sending directly to Amazon. It's absolutely, of course, negotiating your price per unit and getting that down as low as possible. You know, it's all things like that are going to help you to reduce your cost per unit and increase your margin, your profit margin per unit, okay? But this is going to give you a nice rough idea to keep you going, and as I said, you can compare units then across the different suppliers and see which one is going to work out as your ideal option. So this is uploaded into files in the group, and it'll also go into module 1, okay? Any questions? Just give me a shout. Thanks guys, hope this helps.